A warm welcome to the show. We all think we know what Chopin sounds like, but a new project called Chopin Residue asks us to listen in a completely different way. Created by Mariusz Szypura, the project transforms Chopin's music into something experimental, immersive, and entirely new. To discuss, I have Mariusz here with me in the studio. Hello and welcome, delighted
Hello.
to have you with us.
Nice to meet you.
So let me start by asking you why Chopin? What makes his music a good material, if you will, for such an experiment?
Yeah, why Chopin? Maybe because his music is extraordinary, to be honest. Yeah, especially when I was working on this project, I found that it's amazing level under the things we know about the Chopin. So that's, my decision to make this album was totally accidental, because I finished making my previous album, and mastering guy Jacek said to me, you know, your music is like a Chopin music. You got something in common. Maybe you should record some pieces of Chopin. Okay, I thought that is totally stupid idea, because you know, I'm not the classical musician. But when I came home, I started thinking about it, and then I decided to check it. And when I start playing this music, it started, you know, something building, and I was convinced that I need to make this album.
But you removed the piano, and everyone
Yeah.
thinks the piano is essential for Chopin.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So why so?
It sounds like heresy, you know. Yeah, I know it, but I'm a guitar player, to be honest. Of course, I play some, you know, the pianos and stuff, but not on the level that could me allow to play the Chopin. But you know, I don't want it to be in the frame of some, you know, the playing Chopin like other people. So I decided to remove the piano and invite to this project musicians I always adored. So there is a lot of musicians that I can say I had the posters on the walls. For example, there is on this album there is Lee Ranaldo from Sonic Youth. That was one of my favorite bands. There is Adrian Atley from Portishead, Sean O'Hagan from High Lamas. So there's a lot of musicians that I adored, and that's amazing that they take part in this album.
Absolutely. So how was it working with them, with people whom you admired? Was it challenging or perhaps surprising?
Yeah, sometimes it was surprising, but you know, that's mostly it was made remotely. So we arranged some, you know, the Zoom or video call. We're talking about that, and then they send me their tracks. That was, you know, sometimes it was strange, because I thought that I explained, you know, the things properly, but it wasn't. They didn't understand.
Had to give them negative feedback.
Yes, no, maybe
Some
not
of them.
negative, but you know, I try to tell them that something is not the correct way. For example, the album is divided into two parts. One part is a deconstruction. That's more like a covers, you know, that arrangement, different arrangement of the Chopin music. But the second part is reworks. There are reworks of these deconstructions. So that's crazy, because it's really far away from the Chopin originals, and they are synchronized. So you can put these two records and play them simultaneously. So
Right, you can play both at the same time. So
Yeah.
where did that idea originate?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, of course, that was my fascination with you know, some experiments with something like that. For example, the band Flaming Lips once released the album Zyreka. Their album was on 4 vinyls to play simultaneously. That was crazy idea, but you know but for me it was I just wanted to make something, you know, different. different. And sometimes, that when I'm thinking about the music and making the music, there's always, the thinking, what way should I choose? And on this album, I don't want it. So I made, for example, one way it's the regular music, and the second way it's some kind of ambient and experimental stuff. So I could make both ways.
So the title is Chopin Residue. What does residue mean to you? What's left after you sort of strip this music apart?
Yeah, that's a good question, because that's not only musical residue, because that's of course I removed the piano, and what left it's residue. We can call it residue. But I'm also a visual artist and designer, so I start thinking about the music and this project not only as a music, as a songs, but the way this project, there are objects. So I decide to buy a machine to cut in vinyls. This is a technique, late cut, and in the real time the vinyls are cutting. Yeah, and when you are cutting vinyls, there's some small thread that it's that's this residue, and I collect it, and then I put it on the paintings. So it's some kind of the unsound or something, the opposite to the sound, because the sound is on the vinyl. When you remove this material, there is some objects. And I put it on the paintings. I made 9 of them. Every painting, that is connected with one song. And I made an exhibition of this. So it's not only music.
Immersive experience, right? We have music, then we have the installation, the vinyl sculptures, and also the film.
Yeah. I made for every song, I made some kind of video art. I can call it video art, because when I put this residue, this thread on these paintings, I wanted to make a picture, take a picture of this, and I moved up accidentally. I moved the lights, and then there was, oh my God, that's something happening, and this thread is three-dimensional, and I start making video arts, just moving lights, making some projections, light projections on this, and that's the way it happened.
That is very cool. So you have the vinyls here.
Yeah, that's the cover, and there is 9 of these paintings. They are here. So you can put your favorite inside on the cover. Okay, so they looks like that.
So where can we see the installation next? There's going to be a concert in London, right?
Yeah. Now I'm working on the version of this album, which is immersive. That's very interesting, because when you got 2 discs and you play them together, it's creating some space in the music. That's not only stereo, that is more like quadro. And I'm making this version of album in Dolby Atmos, which demands, about the 12 or 14 speakers to listen it properly. So that's the one idea I just made, and then of course I try to move it live. Of course, I played this Chopin Residue live in New York with Lee Ronaldo, with John Stanier from Tomahawk Battles Helmet, and Zoh Amba, that's a saxophonist. And it was in New York when we were opening the exhibition. Second time I played this in Japan, in Osaka, with Masayoshi Fujita and Sugar Yoshinaga. And now it's time to play it in London, and the guests are Adrian Atley from Portishead, there is John Stanier, there is Sean O'Hagan and Charlie Draper, and Miłosz Pękala from Poland. That's a Polish, very famous and amazing percussionist and then vibraphonist. And I think it will be really challenging, because we will be playing almost the 6 songs that they are really not easy to play. So I think it will be good experience to listen this, you know.
I'm sure it will be fun, and you've got some very big names there, so I'm sure they'll be able to handle the challenge. But out of all of the records on this, all of the songs on this record, do you have your favorite one?
It's still changing, because sometimes I love one song, then I start, you know, just rehearsing for concert. Another, and okay, yeah, no, this is great, this is great. And now I think my favorite, maybe still, is the last one, the Raindrop Prelude. It's a number 15, and I think that's this one I like most.
But some people might say, wait, this is not Chopin. So what do you say to them?
That's I think it's a music, it's a Chopin music, but it's not the Chopin. Chopin is dead. You know, that's my interpretation. That's my right to do that. And sorry if you don't like it. Okay, that's never mind. But I think it's just my emotion inside this album, and the emotions of these wonderful musicians that they really played their styles, and they put their souls in this album.
So what surprised you the most while working on Chopin's Residue?
Maybe the most, there was a lot of surprises. So I think the most, I was so surprised that this music is so complicated, but not the way that it's hard to play, but it's hard to recall it when you are playing, because everything sounds and is like a jam session. You know, that's some kind of the jazz inspiration in this music. That's amazing, because there's no, you know, that there's no the strict parts. For example, A, B, C, D. That's A, and then there's the part A. When the chords are changing, there is another part A with everything is changed. Oh my God, it's really amazing to play that, and there's really open to improvising, and then for some, you know, there's some kind of expression and interpretation.
So can you tell us more about the process itself? Of course, you're the mastermind behind this project, but you've also received some institutional support. So how did it all work?
Yeah, it's I'm DIY person. I'm making everything by myself, but sometimes I need help, and of course these musicians helps me. For example, these guys from the immersive mastering helps me. There was Michael Romanowski and Morten Lindberg they have really helped me to achieve the effect of the immerse with this music, but also some institution from Poland. For example, there was I think I really appreciate that Adam Mickiewicz Institute really helps me, really. That's to achieve everything I wanted with this album. So I thank them, really.
Mariusz, before we go, what's next for you? You have this performance in London coming up. What else?
I don't know yet. I'm going, you know, step by step, and I think there will be next concerts, and I want to do some listening session of this immersive version of album. So after the London concert, I will present this album in a Dolby Laboratories in Soho in London to show the immersive version of this album. And I think I will be making this for the rest of the year, and then maybe next year.
That is very exciting, so we wish you the best of luck. Mariusz Szypura, thank you so very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching Pulse of Culture. Please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.